Hey everybody, welcome back to the comment section. It's great to have you back here in the year 2019. We look forward to having a great year and hope everybody listening has one as well. Poker guy, I hope that was a proper moment of silence before our introduction. Now that you can step all over me with the mics.
It was a fantastic introduction. I mean, we were sitting here talking a little bit about the games and some personal things, but I say we just get right into the games and then fill it in with some personal shit. What do you think?
We'll fill it in on the back end, right?
Cool.
We will fill that in on the back end, straight into this because you need my picks because you need to know how to make some money this weekend. I don't need to tell you how to make that money, but you need my picks to make that money.
Exactly.
All right, we got two games on Saturday. Colts at the Texans. Over-under is 48.5. 1.5 point favorites at home for Houston. I got to imagine that you are leaning a certain way in this game.
I am leaning probably in an opposite direction that you're leaning. Everybody is really excited for the Texans to continue their playoff. I don't know, their progression really. At this point, they need to win a couple playoff games, but I know better than to bet on Bill O'Brien and his terrible coaching. I'm going to bet on the Colts, and I want to hear what you have to think.
Well, here's the thing. I don't hate Bill O'Brien the way you hate Bill O'Brien, but Frank Reich, he's riding a hot streak. He's got him fired up. He's getting him fired up. Whenever I see a coach, it doesn't matter. If I would have seen a Bill O'Brien one, I'd probably be on the Texans. But whenever I see a good coach locker room scene and everybody gets fired up, I buy into it. I get in the moment with them. And for whatever reason, I get into a rational belief in that team. Frank Reich had a very good fire up. I feel like the Colts have momentum. It just comes down to, what do you like, Andrew Luck or do you like Deshaun Watson? And I'll tell you, Deshaun Watson, granted the Texans couldn't pull it out. I don't hold that against you, Deshaun. It's BDN on the other side of the ball. Few have achieved that feat when Nick Foles has not been coached by Jeff Fisher. But anyhow, I would have to think that Watson scared the hell out of me watching that Eagles game.
Yeah.
And I'm a believer. I believe in Deshaun Watson. I mean, it's Clemson. I feel like it's going to be a Deshaun Watson weekend. All right, we got Clemson, and they're playing on, was that Monday against Alabama? I feel like this is what's going to happen. Deshaun Watson's going to roll out there. He's going to roast the Colts. He's going to fucking spit roast them. And then he's going to go to, I don't know what, San Francisco? Yeah, they're playing that game in San Francisco. That's why no one wants to go there. I don't know if you saw that, but they're...
No. I thought they were in Atlanta. I thought they were playing in Atlanta, like in the Georgia Dome, as per usual.
No, they're playing in San Francisco, and no one wants fucking tickets to the game. Not because people don't want to go to the game. It's just who wants to go to San Francisco. And I think that stadium is 45 minutes outside of San Francisco. So no one wants to go to the game. Tickets are at all-time low.
Is it that new Levi's stadium that they built, the Niners stadium?
Yeah, the one that the Niners play out of.
I heard that's a really bad stadium, though, for what it's worth. Apparently, like the way that it faces weather really bad. Like incoming winds are usually coming from a certain direction, and the way that the stadium is, it's always blowing like right in your face. And then the sun, it's always barbecuing the patrons. So it's like one of the worst fields to go
like the
to.
Swamp.
Well, yeah, it's exactly like the Swamp, really. And it's
like
pretty much the same
West
thing.
Coast.
It's the Swamp minus the orange and minus the blue and minus the winning and the championships. So yeah, it is kind of like the Swamp.
I mean, I guess the Niners haven't won much since they moved to that stadium, so I get that's technically correct. But
someone's going to win at that. Someone's going to win at that stadium.
I think they've got more Super Bowls than Florida does national titles.
I think Niners have a lot.
What do you guys have? Two? They've got four at least.
No, we've got like four. I think Florida's got a bunch. Florida's got like four. Just two in the last when I was there, two. And then before that,
Spurrier. That's right.
Yeah, the ball.
And then
dude.
one way a long time ago.
Danny Warfel fucking launching bombers. And then that was one. And then Steve Spurrier, when he was a quarterback there too. So I think that should be four. But
okay.
Don't quote me on my Gators trivia.
Good counting. Good counting here. Let me go ahead and count up all University of Arizona ones. We're done. We're done. Don't have to worry about remembering. That's like the University of Arizona sucking at football is like that dreidel that Leo spins in Inception. It just every time they fucking spinning. Go back in the gutter, I realize, I'm in reality where I belong. This is where I belong. This is home for me. And home for me right
Michael
now.
Caine.
Yeah, and so you're on the Colts to cover
here's
1.5.
Here's the thing is I like the Colts, but there's a couple things about the Texans that I absolutely love. And when the year started off, I really liked the Texans because I do like Deshaun Watson. For one, I don't like the line. I think it's kind of weird. Two, Texans have a home field advantage. And I don't know how much of a role that plays, but it's always nice to play at home, except if you're the San Diego Chargers, or the Carson City Chargers. Houston has been healthier than they have been the last couple of weeks. So for one, you have Lamar Miller. He's back. He's feeling nice and juicy, and he probably has been waiting for this one game. You have Deshaun Watson, who's finally 100%. I mean, he's playing lights out. Like you said, at that Philly game, he was firing on all cylinders. And they got this receiver. His name's Kiki Cutie Pie is what we're going to call him. But he's back as a receiver, and apparently he's pretty good. So the last thing you want to do is make Deshaun Watson more dangerous by giving him more targets. And in essence, giving DeAndre Hopkins an opportunity to get open because he is all pro and he's fantastic. So I think this game, I know it sounds really corny, but I think it's the Texans' game to lose. So I think the Colts do have a lot of momentum, and I think the Colts are going to win because I have faith in Bill O'Brien on some level making terrible decisions.
He's going to give you something at the end.
He's going to close for me. It's going to be a close one, but he's a closer for me. So fuck you, Bill O'Brien. There's nothing you can say, Bobby, that can convince me otherwise.
If Bill O'Brien worked at your firm, he'd be heading down to happy hour with the trail of white dust on his nose because he's a closer, baby. He's a closer. He's going to get it done for you.
What was that movie called? That stupid-ass movie.
I don't know. There's The Wolf of Wall Street, and then...
There's that one with Vin Diesel.
There's one with Christian Bale. That may be the same one that we're talking about. It's stupid.
Is it Newsies? It's probably Newsies.
No, I think Newsies is a British paperboy musical. I think.
I'm not too up to date on my musicals or my paperboy dogma or whatever. So fandom. So
we're on opposite sides of the fence on that one. Coin, these are big picks here. All right, Coin's on the home team, so the Coin's on the Texans as well. I'll tell you what I like.
2 Texans, 1 Colts. But what about the
Texans,
over? I like this over.
Oh, you stole the words right out of my mouth. Right out of my mouth. But my wallet really likes the over. Because that looks like a fun game to root for the over. Boom, Andrew Luck throws a touchdown. Boom, Watson throws a touchdown.
Or even better, Deshaun Watson interception. Andrew Luck another interception. Pick 6. Like I feel like there's going to be a couple of those. So it's going to be one of those games. That.
I mean, you got Mac. I mean, Mac running the ball for the Colts, and I don't know. It's going to be a shootout, man. Like, it's just going to be a shootout. I love the over there. That's going to probably get pushed close to 50 or above by the end of the week because people got to be looking at that saying.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely going to be an over.
No. You're telling me that the next game here is only over-under is 43.5, and you're telling me Colts-Texans is going to score less than a touchdown more than that team, than that pair of teams? That pair of teams being the Seahawks, the Cowboys, over-under 43.5. Cowboys are 2-point favorites at home to Russell Wilson and the Seahawks and Sierra's kids and all the crew coming down there to Big D, to Jerry's house. And I don't have a feel for this thing. The Seahawks have been up and down. Cowboys been up and down. Garrett had him fighting tooth and nail last week to take out Eli and like 2/3 of the Giants. So that's kind of worrisome. But momentum is momentum, I suppose. And
I don't like that.
I don't know, man. The only thing I loved about what he did was when he at least went for 2. I mean, that made sense, right? If you're gonna go for it, go for it.
Go for it.
That. I mean, that
and it's cool too because it's a divisional opponent too. So it's not like you're playing like some random team. You're playing the fucking New York Giants and fuck them, and they don't like him. So I thought that was a killer moment. What a better
That
way
way,
to
if you
end the
beat him,
season.
you can assure that they get a higher draft pick order. Wait, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a
That doesn't help
second.
you either.
Wait a
It's a
second.
bad idea. A
But if
lot
they
of
would have
layers.
lost that game, they would have been playing the Eagles, right? Or
No,
no,
they
the
would have still
Bears.
been
They would play
playing
the
the
Bears.
Seahawks. They would
So
have
no
still
matter
been playing
what,
the Seahawks.
no matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they still would have been playing at home. There was literally no reason for them
Stupid
to
Jerry
win that.
Jones is just Jerry Jones penis measuring moment right there. You wanted
Yeah.
to see whose dick was bigger.
He wanted to whip him out, get the tape measures out, and see.
Going back to this game though, man, I feel like both of these teams are like it's like the same team. I'm looking at a 10-6 team playing another 10-6 team with two quarterbacks that can kind of do the same thing. Russell Wilson probably being the better of the two. And then I don't know, the defense is very similar to me. It's kind of like a staunch defense. The Cowboys obviously have improved over the season, but for the most part, we're essentially watching two identical twins battling each other, kind of like the Property Brothers. You got Property Brother A and Property Brother B.
They're
One
on-
one has
yeah.
gel in his hair, the other one has mousse. It's hard to tell which one's better.
the new hit show by the Property Brothers, where one of them becomes the head coach on the Seahawks this week, and the other one becomes the head coach of the Cowboys. I think if you replaced each of those head coaches with a Property Brother, you are fucking really hurting the Seahawks, and you are just zero. You're just zero-sum game with the Cowboys. I just feel like one of the Property Brothers could basically do Jason Garrett's job.
Yeah, well, Jason Garrett, I don't really know what he does. They call him the clapper, right? Bill Simmons calls him the clapper. He just kind of sits there and claps. He's just kind of this dude. But
He
speaking of, man,
he smiles at everybody after getting his.
I just
ass
don't.
kicked.
Yeah, I don't like him.
I don't know if that's a nervous thing
game.
or what it is, but he's too congenial to people after getting an ass whooping.
It's almost like he's got too much Botox, like buzzing through his veins. Where like the facial expressions, where he's actually pissed off, but he can't frown because there's just too much medicine in his eyeballs. So he looks like a serial killer. You know what I mean? He's got those dead fucking eyes.
I can
Those,
see
like,
Jason Garrett at
those
one of
gas
those
station, those gas
one of those
station
wine
attendant eyes.
Botox parties. I can see him.
They
at
have
one of
those. I could see him. I could see him
Yeah.
killing a cat too. I could see him like choking like the neighborhood
Jesus.
cat. I'm just saying, I don't do that. I don't condone that behavior.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
don't
saying
have-
that's what the dude looks like, man.
I just
He looks
saying,
like he's a
I don't have any
fucking serial
evidence.
killer.
It's just conjecture. I don't have any evidence.
Maybe not a cat, but maybe there's like a lizard drowning in his pool and he like elects not to save it and he just watches it drown.
Okay.
He's not really a serial killer, but he's also not helping,
because he just lost to the Redskins 9-7. He can't believe how that fucking happened. So he just looks down at the pool and says, "Fuck you, lizard man."
Right.
Wrong day.
You picked the wrong day to fall into the pool.
Well, we'll see if the Seahawks pick the right or wrong day to fall into the pool down in Dallas. I don't.
What
have
about
a feel for
Amari
this
Cooper,
thing.
man? What about Amari Cooper? What do you think of him? I know Amari Cooper, he's been kind of helping Dak Prescott because ever since his ass got on the team, Dak Prescott has been having better production. So he's like a better Des Bryant. But what do you think, man? You think he's going to play a role here in this game?
I think he's a good player. I think he's doing a little bit of a. There's a couple different ways to react to getting traded, and one of them is to just fucking tank it out, be you, and do your thing. But he seems to have bought into the team, and he also seems to be doing a little bit of Julia Roberts. You work on commission, big mistake to John Gruden. Yeah,
That was a good one. That was a good one last week.
Appear to be just both kind of middle fingering John Gruden. I think they're going to be handing him balls and staring him down, like if they ever fucking get to play each other, the same way all the Browns do to Hugh Jackson. Because I'm pretty sure they think they got done dirty.
Big mistake.
Mistake, John.
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
That's a good one, man. That's a good
All
one.
right, let's talk big mistakes. What are we thinking here on the spread? I'll tell you what. Never trust the Cowboys in the playoff game. I'll take the Seahawks +2.
This is a hard one for me. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, but I guess I'll take the Seahawks, and this might be an interesting under. Speaking of the other game being an over, this game has kind of the stink of being a 20-13 game with like a last second field goal to bring the Cowboys within 3.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
21-20, you're hitting
Or
your
with-
under. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
21-20.
I don't disagree
you're
with you.
gonna hit
I
that
think
under.
that's an under. I think that's a nice juicy under. If you're going to pick one, I think that's a pretty good under. I mean, we could talk Eagles Bears. I mean, that's going to be an interesting under as well.
They're
because Nick
gonna. I
Foles is
think
gonna
there's gonna be
scoring.
a lot of low-scoring games this weekend. Obviously, so do the sports books.
Yeah.
But that's something to look at, or it could be an under.
I just wanted to use that moment to shit on Nicholas Foles a little bit, but
I know you're trying to do that.
Good
It's
segue.
far too early. He's that guy. All he needs is a chip and a chair. All right, and he's back in the fucking tourney. You can never count Nick out. All right, you can't count the Eagles out. Coin is on the Seahawks with us. Oh, it's a Bitcoin certification for that Saturday night primetime effort. Sunday, 10:05 here on the Best Coast. Chargers 12-4 at the Ravens 10-6. Over/under is 41.5. Ravens are 3-point home favorites. So Vegas says these teams are exactly even, and then they're going to give the 3 customary home points to the Ravens. But nay, Las Vegas, you can't do that because the Chargers are an away team. They thrive on the road. Worst thing you can do
love
is
it.
catch the Chargers in their home stadium. Best fucking thing that ever happened to them was getting this 5 seed. If they're able to play 3 road games, I mean 3 like away road games, not 3 home road games. Like they gotta fucking play most of the time. I feel like they can get hot and they can get to the Super Bowl. So obviously that means I like the Chargers. The Ravens, that shit's going to run out at some point. They've already played the Chargers. They've seen it. They're able to watch that on tape from less than 6 weeks ago. I don't know exactly when that game was. I think it was 4 or 5 weeks ago.
It was 3 weeks ago. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it wasn't
recent,
too long
yeah.
ago. So they got that tape, and they're going to be able to, key in on Jackson. He's run the ball since he started playing. He has the second most rushing attempts in the NFL, only to Zeke. Like Zeke's
Yeah,
the
he
only
started
one.
like 5 weeks later too. It's not like he had the
I'm
whole
just saying
season.
since that point that he started, not total
No,
over the
no,
year.
of course.
But since that point, that's too much, man. He can't. I mean, he's gonna have to crop top sooner than later if he's gonna be hauling a load like that.
Yeah,
And it's too cold in Baltimore to crop top, so they need to get some fucking pressure off of that kid.
I agree. The Ravens, like you said, man, they played the Chargers a couple weeks ago. Anthony Lynn isn't as bad as he may look on paper. I think he's not going to let the Chargers lose this one. I think they're going to do their homework and they're going to figure out how to stop these gimmicky little plays. All things the same, like if everything is the same, Jackson is Jackson, Ravens D is Ravens D, Chargers D is Chargers D. If Phillip Rivers gets to do what he needs to do, like there's no pressure, then the Chargers are going to win this game. So if they can get after Phillip, sweet Phillip, then that's going to be a problem.
Sweet Phillip.
But sweet
Did
Phillip.
Did you see that Mariota's gonna have 400 relatives at the national championship game?
What do you mean?
Not Mariota. Excuse me. That was Hawaiianist of me. But Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh,
gonna-
Tua.
Yeah, is gonna have all these family members at the national. Like
You said 400?
plus.
That's awesome.
Someone made the joke that was like Phillip Rivers showing up to dinner at Olive Garden.
That's a good-
Rivers party of 405.
That's a good one.
But
That's good. No, but
so
I didn't hear that,
I love
no.
the Chargers here. I love everything about it. Everything about it.
Like I said, I like the Chargers. If the Ravens D, though, they can get on top of Sweet Phillip and they can kind of fuck him up a little bit, who knows? That Ravens run D is the real deal, So we may see a very close game here, but I think realistically speaking, if everything is as expected, I think the Chargers are going to win that game. I'm surprised that the Ravens are getting 3 points. I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah,
strange. I mean,
I would feel better. I mean, it seems like the Cowboys game kind of sets the precedence for that, and you'd feel almost like the Ravens were 1.5 to 1.5 point favorite. Something fishy there.
it
Vegas
is.
they've been there must be a lot of action on the Chargers already.
Yeah.
The coin is against that action. The coin's he's what they call what they call those, the smarts or the sharps, the betters who always fucking take weird lines, which I guess they're not weird lines because they're the ones I'm not taking.
Yeah, and they're the ones that are paying out. They're the ones that are winning.
Yeah, but then it feels like whenever I'm like, oh, fucking sharps are on that one, I think, why the fuck did I think the Browns were going to beat the Steelers? What the fuck? They've been beating them in 2 decades. Fucking sharps.
Why did I fucking bet on Atlanta? 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
4 weeks in a fucking row.
Oh, wait, that's because I can't stop. I can't believe the fucking Falcons aren't playing this week. That's okay. I got another set of birds to sate myself. Fly, Eagles, fly. 9-7. Heading into the Bears, 12-4. Over and under is 41.5. Bears are 6.5 point favorites. Biggest favorites of the weekend. That means Eagles are the biggest underdogs of the weekend. That means that no one believes in them. And with Nick Foles at quarterback, no one believes in us Eagles. I have seen it 3 times already. Actually, if we want to be technical, 6, because these last 3 games have really been playoff games for the Eagles. They know they lose, they're going home. So in lose your out scenarios, Foles got it 6 in a row. Fucking ice water going through his veins. He's back full at practice. Not worried about him being able to play. I'm all in on the Eagles with this one. If you can get this, if you can move this to 7.5, that's 401k bet. That's guaranteed. There's no way the Bears can pull away in this one. There's a million ways actually, but there's a million ways actually. But I like the Eagles with the 6.5.
So I think Foles is actually, believe it or not, a pretty good matchup here. I think Foles can do what he needs to do to dismantle the Bears' defense. Like he's not going to throw interceptions, maybe till the end, I don't know. But he won't throw any crazy interceptions. He's not going to throw the long ball. He's going to throw very efficient, good passes. Like he's good. Foles is good. But the problem here is that the Bears' run D is fucking really, really good. So if they don't have a running game, like the Eagles, I don't know who you guys have at running back, like Josh Adams, Sproles, fucking Smallwood, some other asshole. Those guys aren't going to be able to run against the Bears. And if the Bears can completely stop the run, they're going to put all that pressure on Nick. And I don't care how
they got
big
a healthy Lane Johnson.
I don't care how big. I don't fucking care.
The left tackle, Eric Peters, Jason Peters. So they got a healthy Lane Johnson and Peters. So, and Kelsey's all pro. He got named all pro today. So that's their center.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever fucking heard of that guy. Apparently, the 50 NFL writers that vote on the all pro have, even if you haven't. And those 3 great linemen right there. So let's not discount the Eagles' ability to potentially run the ball here. I'm not saying that they're going to run for 250 yards. But I'm saying it's reasonable. They could run for 120, 140 yards.
I'm just saying Khalil Mack is over there. And Khalil Mack, he is in big mistake mode. He's, like I said, Julia Roberts. He's trying to prove a point. He's going to have it's his first playoff game, man. He's going to have a showing. So he's going to play great. They're not going to run on that side of the field. So,
I don't think
it's going to be rough for them to run, man. It's going to be extremely difficult for the Eagles to run. But I'm saying if they can, who's their offensive coordinator? Not Jim Schwartz.
Be very wary. Schwartz. Be very wary an early Eagles touchdown here. If the Bears can get out to a comfortable lead, then that spells pretty much doom for Nick Foles. You do not want to be down with Khalil Mack chasing his ass around. Nick is not going to survive that. They can't get down big early. But an early Eagles touchdown while the Bears are still trying to feel him out. I mean, you can see that. Bears are just a little out of sync. They shouldn't have gone so hard at Minnesota last weekend.
They're at home.
Brought this fucking terror into their lives. So,
So it's their
that's
fault.
their
It's
mistake.
all
They're
their
gonna
fault.
when they're sitting there crying in their fucking stocking caps in the cold, cold Soldier Field air, they're gonna be like, God damn it, why the fuck did we not let Kirk Cousins come in here this week? Why Nick and not Kirk? We got a dude who's won the Super Bowl versus a guy who's 5-26 against teams with the winning record. The fuck out of here. He's still got 57 more million coming to him or whatever it is. But Kirk Cousins is the Kaiser Soze of the NFL.
Yeah.
Walking down, walking the fuck out of there. Oh, you don't have a limp, do you, Kirk? I thought you had a limp this whole time. That's why I kept giving you all that money.
Who the fuck is Kobayashi? Oh my god. It's the cup. The cup is Kobayashi. Oh my god, I gave him away.
That's where he got the name. Oh my god.
That's where he got Kobayashi. Oh my god, this guy's
right there,
Kevin
too.
Spacey, man.
Kevin Spacey.
Whatever happened to Kevin Spacey, man? I know we never talked about him. Whatever happened to him?
Whatever happened to that guy? I heard there were.
Didn't he pull his dick out, wave it around in front of like a boy or something?
Oh, he's. I think he's done much worse things than that. We need to move off. We're going to talk about some other things before we talk about Kevin Spacey.
All right. Well, let's talk Eagles for a second.
Let's finish up on the Eagles and the Bears here.
I think the Eagles will cover, but I think the Bears are going to win. But I'm hoping for an Eagles win because I'll jump on the Nick Foles bandwagon with you. I think it's fun to watch you have a good time, like a child, like a brainless like 7-year-old. You know, you having a good time.
If you look at this, if you look at it, here's how you got to look at it. If the Eagles beat the Bears, then they're going to New Orleans. New Orleans looked like dog shit. I get that they rested everybody, but you don't want to show those sort of vulnerabilities. You got New Orleans coming off a bye week, which is good. They're rested. But they can get a little bit of rust with that. Plus, you get the red fucking hot Eagles, assuming in that scenario they had beaten the Bears. They've won 4 in a row. They just went into Soldier Field, took the Bears to it, and now they're in, what's that dome down there called? It's not the Superdome anymore.
Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes Dome? All right.
It's like the Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Gotcha. I thought Mercedes-Benz Dome was the Atlanta one.
I think they're both the Mercedes-Benz Dome.
There'd be a lot of Mercedes-Benz domes. If so, rock on Mercedes. It's a lot of football domes that you got going on there. But
I wish there was like the Hyundai Elantra Dome. You know, that'd be dope.
Yeah, the Kia Sportage Dome. It's like, oh,
Honda CRV Dome. Come to the Honda CRV Dome.
Look at all that storage space in the back, honey.
Really neat.
It's delightful. We could get lots of stuff in there. Fit the kids and the luggage. That's whoa. All right, that sounds terrible. Quite the car, quite the vehicle.
Sounds terrible.
So I'm on the Eagles. Are you on the Eagles? You on the Eagles?
I'm on the Eagles to cover because it's a 6.5 point spread here, but I am going to take the Bears to actually finitely win the game and put an end to this big dick Nick bullshit. But I'm hoping.
It'll never be an end to that until someone spins the wheel of time backwards and takes that Super Bowl MVP trophy out of his arms with an alternate reality. That's never going to stop happening.
Hey, just fucking watch the Avengers. Anything's possible, okay?
Anything's possible. Coin, where you at here, brother? Coin's on the home team, so the Coin's on the Bears. Coin likes the Bears to cover. He's been contrarian. He's been an asshole for quite some time. He was also, not officially, but unofficially at this point, the winner of the best picks of the year amongst the three of us. So
unexpectedly, very unexpected win.
Congratulations
well done
to the Coin. We will get those tallied up here at the end of the season. So a couple of last things to talk about on the NFL front. All-Pro team was named. Boker guy, you weren't on it this year. I thought that was the biggest snub. I thought you played well. They obviously didn't see some of the things you did in Black Ops. Those are amazing.
Got some sick tomahawk kills, man. I don't fucking get it. I got a couple dubs. You know,
do you really get tomahawk kills? Do you really do that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
I don't fucking carry that thing around, man. I'll get some. There was that Sticks and Stones game on one of the levels. So I used to be marginal at that. But I would use the tomahawk.
Yeah.
But I would use the tomahawk a little bit, but I just like to knife people for the most part in that game.
What I would do in Black Ops 2, I'd run around with a knife and a tomahawk. This is before people caught on. I would just use that and like lightweight, which means I could run really fast. And what I would do is I would come around the corner, and these things are one-shot kills. So I would end up missing a lot. But when you connect, there's no better feeling. Because it's nice and quiet, you know what I mean? You're like a funnel web spider that just grabbed a little fucking ant walking by, bloop, and it's a kill right there. I don't have to sit there and hold R2 and hold the controller. It's fast and easy. It's like it's just fast and easy, man. It's the shit. It's a one shot kill, and then the person, you can hear him screaming on the other end of the line. They're pissed. I'm happy. It's a win. It's a win-win for me.
It's a win for you. I can't do that. I don't have the dexterity to fucking kill people with a digital axe. It's just not in my wheelhouse.
Are you threatening me with a real life axe?
No. All right, let's talk about the first team All-Pro. On the offense, Pat Mahomes, Todd Gurley. That is the quarterback running back. Flex position, so they got Tyreek Hill. I guess I just put that on there. I don't know what Jalen Ramsey's going to say about Tyreek Hill next year because it's not returner. But maybe it's like, yeah, he got All-Pro as a flex. Like he's the shitty part of your fucking fantasy lineup. All right, that's flex.
He probably
man.
tweeted it out already. It's already in the Twitterverse right now.
It's probably out there and then deleted. Tight end Travis Kelce, wide receivers Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins.
Who would have thought that DeAndre Hopkins was going to beat out Antonio Brown? Very strange.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about Antonio Brown, so let's talk a little bit about Antonio Brown. Then we got a bunch of other linemen. Congratulations, linemen. But let's talk about the missing notable. Of course, AB. He wasn't just missing from the All-Pro list. He was missing from his fucking team's game, and then I guess a lot of their practices last week. And it was basically just a fuck it, I'm out. I don't really feel like playing because I'm disgruntled. I got a lot of money. I know I got you by the balls cap-wise, and you can't fucking do anything about it. And I'm a douchebag. Sort of maneuver. Seems to be the nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about that at the beginning of the year that he's a colossal asshole. He's throwing fucking microwaves from his, 20th-story condominium trying to kill people. So we've known for a minute that he's a little selfish, but I didn't realize it was so bad up here in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? They were so bad that people were saying that before the game, had Antonio Brown even showed up and suited up to the game, that people were going to beat his ass. I forget, somebody said that. Somebody on the defense said.
Oh, really?
It sounds like there's a lot of animosity between them all, so.
Gotta fuck that guy. He got paid, man. He got paid. And now he's got the money, and some people get the money, and they turn into douchebags. They turn into the most complete, level 7 douchebag boss form of themselves.
Yeah. They become level 7 kaijus from Pacific Rim,
Of their own douchebag selves. And you can't there aren't enough Jaegers left in the fleet, bro, to be able to take down Antonio at this point if you are in Pittsburgh. But they can't trade him. So enjoy that, Pittsburgh. Enjoy that.
Well, they can trade him. They said that they can trade him, but they got to trade him a couple weeks left of the off season. They can trade him, and then there won't be a cap hit. I didn't read too much into it, but from what I understand, they can trade him, but later in the summer. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. That's fine. I would just assume that he's not going to be around for any team activities. And then if you can trade him and not get a cap hit, I think you pretty much trade him for whatever you can get that's reasonable.
Trade him to the Bengals, Trade him to the Bengals. That'd be a good one.
I mean, if the Cowboys if they gave up a first rounder for Mari Cooper, somebody should give up a first rounder for Antonio Brown. Somebody's that desperate, right? I mean, somebody thinks they want Antonio Brown away from the Super Bowl. Maybe the Eagles. Maybe the Eagles next year.
Maybe the Raiders. You never know.
Or maybe the Raiders. They take that.
These picks.
Use
all those picks they got.
Yeah, bring an asshole
they could use
like
the
that
second
into your
round
locker room in the second year of your tenure. I would not do that. Oh, did you see that?
You know, it'd be awesome.
Mike
They can take
Mayock,
him to.
that dude with the lisp from NFL Network, is the Raiders' new GM.
No, I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, they hired a TV guy. I mean, obviously he knows about football. He's been doing, he's been in the game for a while. But they're kind of bachelor ABCing their fucking entire organization. It's like Mark Davis wants to get cooler. That's all he wants to do. He doesn't give a shit.
He's just trying to throw like the sickest party,
Yeah.
Like, he's just trying to throw an awesome.
He wants his team to be as cool as his haircut, and he doesn't give winning be damned. Because I don't give a fuck. John Gruden, the coach. See this dude? Yeah. He's on TV. He used to be on TV. Your GM used to be on TV. I don't even fucking know who that guy is. Who is that guy? I've never seen him before in my life. Calling me GM.
Hey, come here, sweetheart. Here's some ecstasy. All right, there you go. And let's
Enjoy.
Party.
It's from Jim's personal stash.
Hey, Jim, come here. Come here. This girl's breathing is slowing down. Come here.
You take it from. Wait, no, we're gonna stop. Anyhow, a second. Let's go. Let's move on to the defense. You get the edge rushers, Watt and Mack, the interior guys, Aaron Donald, and then of course Philadelphia Eagles. Fletcher Cox will be wreaking mayhem this weekend. On Mitch Trubisky. Linebackers, Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner, Darius Leonard, Kyle Fuller, and then Stephon Gilmore.
Nice.
Stephon, that's a popular name of, was it Steve Urkel, of Steve Urkel's character on Family Matters. But Kyle Fuller, Stephon Gilmore, the cornerbacks, Eddie Jackson, Derwin James, the safeties, Desmond King is an additional defensive back. And then
Eddie Jackson's going to be intercepting a lot of balls this weekend. He's going to have like 4 interceptions alone.
You got a 4-pick day for Eddie. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. He's very firm on that. And then the special teams, Justin Tucker, despite the missed field goal or missed extra point to lose a game, still the best kicker in the sport. All right. Let's go ahead. Last thing to cover here is going to be the NFL coaches that got fired. So these guys their family is packing up. No, wait. Let's leave that out of it. We don't want to dwell on the negative aspect of things.
You mean these guys, they still got fired though? So
yeah,
that still sucks for them,
It definitely sucks. So Steve Wilkes
Dirk Cutter got fired. Dirk Cutter.
Yeah. Steve Wilkes got fired. Dirk Cutter got fired.
Did you hear about Dirk Cutter? That some dude in Tampa found all of his buck shit at like a local Salvation Army, like a local Goodwill. Did you see that?
Just a giant pile of Dirk Cutter memorabilia.
It's just Dirk Cutter shit. It's like I'll send you the link later, but it's just like the hat, the visors, like all this shit, and it's 100% like head coach Tampa Bay coach 2018 Dirk Cutter shit. It's awesome.
You can be. I mean, that'd be a good score. I mean, if somebody got that,
it's worth nothing. It's worth nothing. It's worth like a tweet. You know what I mean? It's worth like a tweet.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I don't know. I think
its value's already at 0. You know what I mean? It's already worth nothing.
It's not worth what it would cost to ship.
Or
at the
burn.
very least.
Or set on fire.
It's not worth the heat versus the amount of chemicals that will get spewed up into the air for all your children to choke on.
It would kill too many butterflies to be worth anything. Just leave it. Just leave it in Goodwill.
Just bury it in the ground somewhere. Here's the deal. Just take it and bury it. Bury it in the ground, and then everything's gonna be okay. All right.
Just
dig another 3-mile wide hole right there.
Just throw it in the ocean. Throw it in the ocean with all the other trash in Florida.
Oceans are big.
It's America's sewer. You know what I mean? A couple shirts here, a couple shirts there. It's not a big deal. Maybe 1 or 2 dolphins dies, but that's about it. Big deal.
That's what it takes. That's what it takes to just get this shit out of sight. I don't care. I just want to pretend like we don't have problems. Okay, everybody.
Right.
Just like the Bengals were pretending that they didn't have problems for so long. Marvin Lewis, he got fired. Out-leveraged. His dick pics have been out-leveraged. He's gone. It's over. Adam Gase let go by the Dolphins.
Big
What's
surprise. Big surprise on that one. Adam Gase getting
on
fired.
Gase. No, I mean, what is surprising is that he's a hot candidate for other coaching jobs, apparently.
Yeah, I
apparently
saw
Green
that.
Bay's looking at Adam Gase. Are you fucking serious? What is Adam Gase?
I don't think for
ever
head
done?
coaching. I don't think for head coaching. Maybe for a coordinator, but not for head coach, right?
No, I think for a head coach. Like,
That's
people are
gotta be
looking at
wrong.
Adam Gase for a head coaching job. I don't get that.
Dude,
Fucking,
just
he
hire
got fired.
Condoleezza Rice. Just
Yeah.
fucking hire Case Keenum's wife. You know what I mean? Hire somebody.
Yeah.
Don't hire.
Get Mrs.
Don't
Keenum. I
hire
don't
this
see
dude.
Mrs. Keenum anywhere in the. This is what's fucking stupid is I don't see Mrs. Keenum anywhere in any of these like potential candidates.
That's fucking Jordan Peterson's fault, dude. Fuck you, Jordan Peterson. You need to start putting Miss Keenum on a pedestal or something. You need to celebrate that woman because it's you and your transphobic dogma
Yeah.
that's hurting America.
Quit it, sir. You're a monster on every end. Denver Broncos. They got an opening. Vance Joseph fired by notorious asshole John Elway, who will not admit that he's really at fault for the shortcomings of his team, but instead, Vance Joseph, he's loading up the U-Hauls, heading somewhere else, hopefully with the big fat, what is that, severance check in his pocket. Because I feel like he got kind of done dirty by John Elway. I feel like Elway never really wanted him as a coach. And he's fucking God. Just like Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles, boom, done. See you later. No one looking at Todd Bowles. He had a very poor showing. Just to be fucking to be firm about that. Need a very poor showing. And
Talk to me about Josh McDaniels. Talk to me about him. What do you know about the Josh McDaniels situation? Because I read a couple things. I read that he is really interested in the Browns coaching job, but the Browns aren't interested in him. And then on top of that, you got the Packers that are also interested in Josh McDaniels. So you essentially have this like love triangle of coaching. You know what I mean?
I think he could have, he could have half the jobs out there just by picking up the phone, if he wanted them. I think there are a number of teams that, I mean, what are we, just 11 months out, 10 months out from when he double-deuced the fucking Colts? Like, when did that happen? Not even a year ago. I remember when that happened, people said, his fucking career's over, man. Like, he is fucking done in this business.
This is disgraceful. This is disgrace.
You can't trust a man's word, I tell you that. And I would never do business with Josh McDaniels. I just sat there and thought, dude, he's going to interview with like 3 teams next year at a minimum.
And here we are. People are clamoring for him. They want him as a head coach. You know?
It's going to be a special letter of intent, I would assume, that they would have him sign. But
there's definitely going to be
anyone would think, right?
some kind of
Josh, I don't want to hold this against you, but I mean, you come on, man. Like,
I loved it, Josh. I enjoyed it.
I personally
I
loved
thought
it.
it was sweet.
I wouldn't love it for me if that were to happen to me.
I'd be pissed though if like you were, you needed a roommate, when you're in college, and you're like, hey man, like we're both gonna put like a $500 deposit on this place, and it's like, okay, cool, and then you put your deposit in, and then like Josh backs out like on signing day.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed.
Oh great! Now we all owe an extra $450 in deposit and an extra $450 every month. Because
but I thought you were gonna bring the mini fridge, bro. I thought you had the mini. Oh my god! Now we don't have the mini fridge anymore, bro.
And we don't have a mini fridge. And damn it, we just have the regular fridge.
We just got the one fridge. How are we gonna throw sick parties with a?
Can't
throw sick parties.
Not like we could buy beer anyway because we have an extra fucking $400 a month in rent we gotta pay. Thanks to you, Josh. Now we gotta go looking for weirdos to fill that space. Oh, what's that? You get kicked out of somewhere? Yeah, it seems like a good idea to invite you into our home. Why not, right? Surely you were kicked out unjustly. And you'll be nothing but a model tenant while staying here with us. Right, Psycho Todd?
Also,
right?
Where do my socks keep disappearing? Do you know anything about that, Psycho Todd? No? Okay,
Psycho Todd, I know that these are cum stains. All right? I know they're cum stains. All right, PT.
Look,
All right.
look, Psycho Todd. I had 10 craft singles in here, and now there's 7 craft singles. And I know for a fact I did not eat 3 of these craft singles. So where did my
Bobby
3
says
craft
he
singles
didn't
go?
eat them. So
Bobby
what?
said he didn't eat them.
What? And I believe
He didn't
him
eat them.
because you know why, Psycho Todd. You know why I believe him? Because I used to keep craft singles in here all the time, and there was always the same amount when it was just me and Bobby, as when I remember. And now we got somebody else that lives in the house.
Look, I'm just putting math. I'm just doing the math, okay? And then on top of that, there's plastic craft wrappers in the trash. And I asked Bobby, okay? I asked him, and he said he did not throw those craft wrappers out. So
he didn't put them there. Did you put them there, Todd? Because guess what? You're looking like Mr. Plumley in the library, or Mr. Plum in the library right now, all right, buddy? Looking guilty as fuck. Because
you
got you dead
all
to
over
rights.
your shirt. You got yellow all over your fucking shirt.
So, Psycho Todd,
bitch.
just fess up to it.
You ever had to do that, man? You ever had to get like a random roommate? Did you ever have to do that?
No.
I had to do that a couple times. I had to do that a couple times, man. I had this dude. I won't go into it, but I had this. Well, let me get into it for a second. This dude, he was when I was living up north. He was from like Kentucky or Tennessee, one of those states near West Virginia where people talk funny and they love Cracker Barrel and Bob Evans. So he was from there, and he ended up getting kicked out of school for whatever reason. I don't really know the semantics behind it. But what he was doing is he had this weird thing where he kept trash in his little like room. And it was your classic college room where it had like the main living space and then like side bedrooms, you know, and like one bathroom for everybody. And he had in his room, he had a big trash bag. And in the trash bag was just like old food. So it was like old tuna cans that had like residue on there. It was just garbage. It was just garbage, and it was under his bed. And I remember like coming home one day from class, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And it had like those guys who, you know, are coming out of jail, who are just like really laid back, cool dudes, but they're wearing like biohazard gear, and they're just like, "Oh, bro, you don't want to know." And he, you know, they gave me a look inside, and there was fucking trash everywhere. And I was never close to the guy, and he kept to himself, and he didn't murder me or anything. But that's a true story, man. He came and left like the fucking wind, dude.
You just let him kind of be horrible.
Well, you couldn't smell it, you know. He couldn't. Yeah, he had no idea.
I mean, he could be attracting all sorts of critters into your fucking apartment, though.
He could have. By the time I figured it out, he could have, man. I didn't have dogs at the time, you know. I didn't have issues with fleas or ticks or parasites. I was on the other side of the room at that point, but I had no idea. I found out when the dude was already on a flight back to fucking West Virginia, and then I had the fucking ex-convicts doing like pouring pesticides and shit in the guy's bedroom. Okay. That's when I found out what was up. And I'm like, why does my entire like house smell like Febreze? I'm like, oh, these guys are in here with biohazard shit on. They're digging through the trash. That's when I found out what was going on. I just thought the dude was weird. I just slept with my doors locked, you know, and I had the baseball bat in my bedroom. I was just ready to rock at any moment, but I don't know, dude. So it happens, dude. You find yourselves, you know, amongst these people. And
that's true. I was an Airbnb-er for a while, so I've been in a bunch of weird houses with weird people. And then I did rent a room somewhere so I have lived with people I don't know in an apartment capacity. It turns out that I definitely had the worst room in the house because it was near a hospital and it was right on a main road. And mine was right on the fucking road where the ambulance is always blared up and down on. Fucking sucked. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's kind of like a train track, though. You learn how to kind of sleep through that shit.
Yeah, you get used to it. It's not like you're at a corner of a bus stop with like the crackheads yelling at each other at all hours of the night. You know, it's a train that sounds the same every time. You get used to it. It's
a train that sounds the same. We got a train coming through this weekend, everybody. That's week 1 of the NFL playoffs, the wild card round. It's going off Saturday and Sunday. Come join us back here on Monday morning. We'll have a pod out for you, recapping the first round of the playoffs.